This is Gam Chat. My name is Greg.
I'm McCoy.
And I'm D.
We're three Filipino gay guys trying to make sense of anything and everything in the world today. Welcome to our podcast. So, gobble gobble, it's going to be Thanksgiving tomorrow. It's really exciting.
Yes.
So, McCoy, lead us into this episode.
Yeah, let's talk about some Thanksgiving tradition for your family.
Ooh.
Should I start?
You always do.
Oh, yeah.
Miss Dominatrix. Oh, are we supposed to say that? Oh my god. Sorry.
That's for next weekend. So this past few Thanksgiving, I've been out of town. I've been out of the country. But when I'm there...
Coincidentally or...
On purpose?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So when I'm there, usually we'll have like just a regular family dinner. But lately we've been having boodle fights because the cleanup is easy. So we just lay banana leaf, like plastic sheet or tablecloth, and then the banana leaf, and then the food on the banana, and then we eat with our hands. That's like what a boodle fight is. And when you're done...
Wait, I'm sorry. It's called a boodle fight?
Yeah, boodle fight.
Boodle fight? I never heard that.
I mean, I know the concept, but I don't know
Yeah.
why is it called that?
I think it has history with the Philippine military. That's how they celebrate. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's how they celebrate being together or being comrades or something like that. I'm not really sure, but
Okay.
yeah. So once you're done, you just pull up the plastic sheet and you just roll everything, and then you're done. It goes in the trash.
All right, so someone like send us a private message or email us exactly what the definition is, because we're probably butchering it. But yeah,
But yeah, because there's no fighting, right?
you can.
I'm sorry.
You fight with your fingers, with your hands. You fight with your fingers.
It's not really a fight. It's like you have your section, and the food is in the middle, and you just grab the food that you want. Keep in mind the food.
Or maybe the fighting is like you're grabbing someone else's like thing.
Oh yeah,
It's possible, but
Yes.
there's rules to it, because the hand you use to eat with that's not the hands you're gonna use to grab the food.
Things, yeah.
So there's like rules to it. So Greg, you've been to one of our family stuff, yeah.
I love it.
I still
Yeah.
use like forks and spoons.
Well, the thing is, you
Wow.
can't have like soupy stuff. Like you can't have sinigang with a boodle fight because it's not gonna work.
Well, what kind of stuff would you have?
Usually we'll have like seafood, steak, stuff that you grill mostly. That's easy because you just eat eggplant, yes. Salted eggs, with tomato. Yum. Fuck, I'm hungry now.
Ooh, that does sound good. That does sound good.
Well, you were having popcorn, so you should be.
You know what? It's either peanuts or popcorn. It's like...
So what everyone doesn't know is that before we actually do these recordings, McCoy will always have either peanuts or popcorn before, like pre-gaming the podcast recording.
And also, the wine bottle is almost finished before we record.
McCoy always finishes a bottle of wine before every episode. I don't know how it happens.
I mean, me and Greg would be like, wait, let me grab my bottle of wine. And McCoy's like lifting the bottle in front of a light. I'm like, oh, almost done.
I know.
Guaranteed.
Like he's at the club, he's like finishing the bottle, and it's like 1 p.m. on a Sunday afternoon or something,
Yeah, easy like Sunday morning. Oh, it's not Sunday morning. That song doesn't work. Let's take that out.
It's a Wednesday morning.
Oh, you're right.
Clearly, someone finished the bottle.
So how about you, Greg? Any family traditions you guys do? or D?
Actually, we've been spending the last couple of Thanksgiving with a Maro side of the family. So it's the traditional turkey, everyone kind of getting together. They'll form a group message weeks in advance to be like, whose house are we spending that? And I think Thanksgiving's role for us is like a pregame to the holidays. That's where we discuss who's having the Christmas party at their house, Christmas Eve, and then Christmas Day, and then
The New Year.
Are we doing an exchange gift? Is it going to be a potluck? It really is just like to get us ready for the upcoming holidays. So that's what the traditional, Thanksgiving looks like. I don't really get to see my side of the family unless they have something going on. So other than that, that's really that's how I see Thanksgiving as a tradition.
But haven't you thought maybe they are having something, they just don't invite you?
Damn!
Most likely, because then like a week later, I'm just be like on Facebook, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh my gosh, my heart just broke a little bit.
Oh no!
And I love that D. No, I love that D wasn't even phased by. He's like, yeah, probably.
Yeah, D's heart is not broken one bit.
You know me, no fucks.
Clearly.
Amaro and I have managed for the last couple of years to do like, okay, morning time, we'll go to his side of the family. Nighttime, we'll drive all the way to OC because most of my family's on OC. So it really is like before when we lived in the west side, we were at least in the middle. But now that we're in the valley, it's like a trek for us to go all the way down to the 5, to go to Orange County and then back.
But D, you're on the edge of the valley.
Yes.
Yeah, you're like on the way to Bakersfield.
Yeah.
What up, Bakersfield? Bakersfield, California.
Yeah, but yeah, that's how like the last couple of Thanksgiving have been. How about you, Greg? Are you done choking?
You're gonna edit that choking part out. On my dad's side, we do something because my most of my mom's side, they're not here in the States. But my dad's side, we usually do like a Thanksgiving. I think one of my aunts likes to do a themed Thanksgiving.
Oh, what's the theme?
Yeah.
Well, like it ranges. I think one time she wanted like a true American Thanksgiving.
So it's like pilgrims and Indian.
Yeah.
Pilgrims.
With dead natives.
Native Americans with handmaidens.
Oh God.
No, like she'll have only like American food. So one time she even hid the rice from us.
Burgers, hot dogs.
She hid it and that's not even American. That's like German, isn't it? And then she hid the rice from us. She hid it in the laundry room. And so we had to do like a scavenger hunt looking for the rice cooker.
Oh my God.
She wants to like do this very American
Wait, but
thing.
did you have to cook the rice still? Or was it like maybe she was just too lazy to do it?
she cooked the rice, but she just hid it like in the dryer or something.
Wait, so there was cooked rice, but she hid the cooked rice?
Yes, because she wants us to be American.
Maybe if she didn't cook the rice, then you'd be forced to just do the American Thanksgiving, don't you think?
Yeah, but we have that Filipino side in our blood no matter what. You just have to cook the rice to cook the rice.
I think you have to revisit this memory, Greg, because she probably didn't want you guys to find the rice. She was probably going to make fried rice the next day, and you were like, these motherfuckers just found my rice. It's like...
Really? She's going to make garlic fried rice the next day.
Yes, with Spam and eggs.
And you guys were just snooping around her own damn house, looking for rice, and she was like, it's unintentional.
Most likely. I don't know. She tries to be, she tries these different themes. But I do have this one tradition, so I have to give the shout out. This is like my one sacred tradition for Thanksgiving that I always have to honor, that dates back to my high school years.
Yeah.
And I've been doing it every year. Back in the day, not long ago, in high school.
Not long ago, Greg.
Okay, maybe a little bit long time ago. Just a little bit, just a tad. I went to an all-boys Catholic school, and one of my very close friends, I'm still friends to this day, we got out of school like on a Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and we both had this idea to drop acid for the very first time.
Oh my God.
Acid, the hallucinant
Yes.
tabs. And so we got a hold of like 2 acid tabs. And we went back to my house, and I think we were like, okay, should we do it? Should we not? We debated about it all night. And I think around like 9 p.m. or 10 p.m., we decided just to drop. And so he took one piece, and both the acid tabs had a skeleton on it. It's probably like 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter. Like, it's so small. Have you guys dropped acid before?
No.
Yeah.
D?
Yes.
D was like, yeah.
I'm very innocent when it comes to all that illegal stuff.
No, it's not even that. You just have to try it, so at least you know what the hype is all about, and then you'll be like, okay, either you walk away knowing, or
You have to lock me
sometimes-
in a room because I might end up in the LA River naked or something like that. So
that honestly, that is possible.
Yes.
Honestly, on acid, it is possible.
You know what? What I'll do is like I'll drop McCoy some like what's that? The peanuts with garlic, and I'm just gonna shove the little paper
Just
in
add
there.
it. Just add it to his his peanuts. His Philippine peanuts.
It's bound to be in a handful that he grabs. So that's gonna be it.
And you'll find me in 2 weeks in New Mexico.
That's a typical weekend for you, actually. So the night before Thanksgiving, me and my friend Kevin, we dropped acid for the first time, and it fried our brains so much. Like, it felt like we were on the floor, but it felt like we were on the ceiling. And at one point, we would look at each other, and then we would move each other's eyeballs visually. Like,
Just check on each other.
yeah, like the whole face was warped. And then, back in the day, we had like a lot of those, like, those, everyone took photos at the studio,
Yeah.
like at the mall studio.
Yeah.
And I had hundreds of them. And we started going through them. And all of a sudden, all the people in the photos started talking to us. And I was like, oh my gosh. And we did this all night till maybe, and then I think it was at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. I realized that I'm supposed to go back to my high school. Him and I are supposed to go back to my high school to feed the homeless.
Oh my God.
I was running downstairs. I was like, oh my gosh, we got to feed the homeless. And we're still tripping on acid. And my mom was like, where are you going? I kept on calling my mom, auntie. She's like, auntie? Like, what are you talking about? I was like, I'm okay, auntie. And then like, Kevin and I just left. Our brains were baked. Like, when you do acid, like, afterwards, your brain is just fried.
It's a hard recover.
It's a hard, and so I had to feed the homeless the whole morning. I was like, oh my gosh. And so every Thanksgiving, it is my tradition to, like, we would text each other and say happy acid Thanksgiving. Every Wednesday night.
I thought you meant your tradition is to drop acid every Thanksgiving.
Separately, also.
No. No, but later on, he said, when we're much older, we have to drop acid again one day.
Well,
As
that
a
would be
tradition.
now, Greg.
Wow! Going back to peanuts. Jerk. So, I mean, those are the traditions I kind of cherish. That's probably my only one tradition I like to keep sacred. Acid Thanksgiving. So I'm just not going to say anything, but, you shouldn't do acid or drop acid unless, you are in a safe space to do
Yes.
it. Because it will fry your brain completely.
Well,
and you probably
temporarily,
don't
right?
want to feed the homes. No, acid stays in your system a while, right, D?
Yeah.
It stays in a while. And you can have acid flashbacks.
Okay, I'm not doing this then.
Well, you don't have to know. Like I said, I'll just drop
Yeah.
you like, McCoy, here's some
It's gonna-
ninang something peanuts with fried
Want some
garlic.
popcorn?
I'm like, thanks.
D, just give him an acid tab and garlic. He'll just eat it. That's what we call a Filipino acid trip.
Screw the paper, just drop it in one of the, just drop it on one of the things.
Yeah. It adds some spam to it. And it's like the perfect Philippine Thanksgiving acid trip.
Speaking of acid, let's talk about some toxic Filipino cultural traits.
Oh, what are you saying? It's
Well,
like it's toxic as drugs? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, yeah.
I might as well be on drugs because sometimes I don't even know how to handle this. So we're talking about, Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatnot you get with family, and titas are always ever present and they talk a lot of shit.
Titas say the darnest things.
Well,
that is for sure.
yeah.
I think darness is like a generous, safe.
I'm trying to be polite
description of what they say, but
Well, yeah, it's like it's that fine line we have to play with the titas, right? You have to be respectful, but they really do say like the most effed up things
Yeah.
growing up, even until you're adult.
Oh, yeah.
they'll just always do this. So, like, what is some of your own examples of what the darnest things titas will say?
Well, the number one thing with me is, oh, anak, you've gained weight all the time. And sometimes it's not even like, oh, you gained weight. Sometimes I'll just straight out and say, oh, you got fat.
Like straight up fat. Like they don't say tabachoy. Tabachoy means fat. Is it Tagalog, right? Tabachoy is Tagalog.
Yeah, but isn't it all the same, really? You gained weight, you got fat. Might as well just say it. You got fat. But it's rude and it's hurtful.
No, here I have So do all titas like somehow is there like a convention that all titas go to, that a conference where they say when we see our relatives we're gonna say they're fat? Like how come it's always the same?
McCoy can answer that for us since he's part of the Tita team.
Oh, he is.
So do you guys have a convention?
Yes.
You guys, a meeting? What is that, McCoy? Meeting de avance? Or
Actually, okay. I guess I'm a certified tita because I did that to one of my niece. Yes,
No,
I
you
body shamed her.
didn't.
Oh my god, yes, it was years ago. And I said, "Oh, she gained weight" or something like that. And of course, she was right there, and she was like, "Stop."
Wait, to her face? Oh, wait, I'm sorry. You're talking to her directly, or was it like
wasn't.
off the side?
On the side, like a tita comment to another tita. Oh my god, I felt so ashamed. And she was like, "Stop saying that," and she stormed out. And I felt so ashamed.
She looked at you. She
Yeah.
looked at you.
Yeah, she sure
okay,
did.
How old is she? Give us some context. How old is she?
I think at the time she may have been 20.
Oh.
oh,
Yes. So I felt so terrible because I was doing what was done to me. And it made me hyper aware ever since then to stop doing that because it's not right and it's not healthy and it's not nice.
Where do you think this came from?
I think maybe it got normalized and in my head
For you?
I guess, and unconsciously it was normal to say shit like that because things like that have been said to me for a very long time, and usually I'll just smile and walk away. Yeah, so I mean my mom tried to do that to me regarding like what I eat, or like, "Oh, you're eating too much," and I spoke up and I said, when I don't eat enough, you say something, or when you think I'm eating too much, you say something. What am I supposed to do? Where am I supposed to put myself? And ever since then, she's never made a comment because I spoke up. But yeah, things like that have been said to me, even by cousins.
yeah. I think it's in our culture. It's so normalized to the point that I think you can all relate that before we even step foot in the door, we do that deep breath and like,
Yeah.
are you ready for this shit show?
Yeah.
Kind of thing where we really have to mentally prepare ourselves before we step foot and like open that door. It's like the garage door is open, so you have to go through the garage door to go through the fucking kitchen, and then that's where they're all congregating. And it's like almost like a setup. It's the general, "Oh, what happened to you?" And it's like fuck, where do I look? Like, that's such an assassin attack. Like, is it my hair? Is it my stomach? Is it my legs? Or my ass? What is it? At least be direct, But
Wait,
like,
so they would just look you up and down and say, "What happened to you?"
but it's not even looking up and down. It's like with a smile, but with a question of a tone. Like,
Oh, like,
"Wow, what happened?"
"Ah,
It's not even like, "Oh, what
Anna,
happened to
what
you?"
happened to you?
Yeah, and it's like, what is it? Like, where am I supposed to be conscious? Because right now it's all over. Like, which one is it?
Yeah, like, and don't try to mask it with the whole smile and like, you're so the bachoy. Oh, you have man boobs. Like, seriously. I'm wearing Spanx for Christ's sake. Like, you shouldn't be seeing the man boobs.
Feel you up and like physically touch you in those specific areas, and I'm like, Lord.
Oh my god.
Right?
Yeah, when they poke you, they're like, "Oh, what
Yes.
is this?" And they're like, "Pillsbury Doughboy." Oh. And I'm like, okay, that didn't happen to me. That happened to my brother. Okay, I can't take ownership of that. Sorry, Monong. Don't mean to call you out.
But it's like such an assassin attack where it's like,
Yeah.
it's instead of saying something nice and like reinforcing, that's the first thing that they say. So I'm not really sure why we've gotten so used to it, but it's a part of us, and it's sad to think that.
But let me just jump in here because even if you're not fat, if they think you lost a lot of weight, they'll
Yes.
call you out too. Because I've heard, of course, I haven't been called like, oh, actually I have. But usually other people will be like, "You lost so much weight. Are you on drugs?" It's like stuff like that.
Yeah, I know. And then I have to tell them, like, yeah, I am.
Actually,
They never ask me that.
Actually, my recollection of when that distinctively happened was when I was first coming out. And they were like, "Oh, what happened? Are you doing drugs? Why are you so skinny?" I was like,
Yes.
no.
Why are you so
Do you
skinny?"
know how the gay community is? It's so competitive. You have to lose weight. Like, fuck. can't you just acknowledge my effort? Like, what the hell?
This is the look I'm going for.
Yeah, I know. It's like, oh, you look so skinny. It doesn't look good. It's like, what the fuck? Where do you put yourself?
Seriously.
Where do you put yourself?
I do agree with you. It's almost like you if you're like, let's say if you're working out, you're feeling great about your body, bam, you're too skinny. If you are, you maybe just normal, right? And then they're like, oh, you gain weight.
Yeah.
And you really just can't win.
Yeah, you can't.
With the titas. You just can't. And you're like, why do you always have to just say something to say something? It's like you don't have anything else to offer. Like, what? We could talk about other things.
Yeah, but sometimes you don't have to say the words. They can just give you that look, like they look at you and you know what they mean.
Or like when you get like a second plate and they're like, oh, a second plate, huh?
Oh.
And you're like, oh my gosh.
But then I like how it's followed up like, oh, why don't you heat it up in the microwave? It's like, wait, are you trying to insult me or help me? Which one is it? Because I'm confused. Do I put this plate down and walk away, or do you want me to warm it up? Like, what is it?
Let me ask you guys this, because like we are three men. Do you feel like if we were female, it would be worse?
There's extra comments if you're female, I think.
There are extra comments. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
With my Pinay cousins, it's like it's a different level.
Yeah. Usually they'll be like, oh, how can you find a husband? If stuff like that. Oh my God, it's terrible. Because
how come you're not married yet? Like your cousin so and so, and it's like,
maybe if you eat a little less. I've heard that shit.
oh Lord.
Yes,
I've heard that shit.
I've heard them say
because
that.
like, how can you find a husband if you keep eating? What the fuck that has to do with anything?
My God, you might as well swat the spoon out of her
Yes.
hand instead of just saying the words.
Yeah.
It has the same effect.
Why do you think that is? Why, like, what do you think that is about the culture? I mean, it can't just be our culture, right? Even though I think that we see it a lot.
Probably not.
But it must be in other cultures too.
Yeah, I think so.
Do you think it's a part of like hiya?
What's hiya?
Hiya is
Like shame.
shame. We are big in this thing of shame. Like, what are others gonna
You think they shame you to correct a behavior that they think is wrong?
That, and also that shame is the basis of comparing yourself to other, right? What are so and so gonna say?
Oh, maybe.
No, I think it's that same root where it's coming from. Is like, you're right. It could be like shaming you to correct you in a way, but I think it's time to understand that that's not necessarily the only way to correct things.
Yeah, it's like so they're saying that they are trying to shame you with the intention of you becoming better or something like that. Is that what you mean?
I'm hoping, at least.
I'm hoping. Because that means they mean well, but I don't know. It's not right.
Yeah, if that's not the case, it's like, fuck, you just go back to church.
Instead of shaming me into trying to be quote unquote healthier in their eyes, maybe encourage me to eat healthier things, or maybe you should start serving vegetables for a change.
They do, but it's pinakbet, McCoy.
Wait
I
a
love
minute.
my pinakbet though.
Because here's the thing, like we were talking about, you said encourage, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that our culture, the Filipino culture, practices encouragement
I don't think so.
in a healthy way?
I don't think so. And I'm ashamed to say that. But I don't think so. I have heard very little encouragement from my family about anything. Well, my mom is very encouraging, but just her.
But you brought up something though, because you also make me think that titas encourage you, but it's also like a backhanded comment.
It's possible, yeah.
Have you guys ever experienced that? Like, oh, you're doing so good, but da 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 da.
But there's always a but. They're never satisfied.
Yeah. Does that happen to you, D?
I think this might be just like a wild guess, but I think, you know how titas usually congregate with each other. Like I said, you walk into the garage and then they're by all the kitchen and that's there. This might just be like my head thinking this way, but it might stem off from like titas talking to each other, you know, usually, and then comparing each other, and then it gets passed on to their kids. So when the kid comes in and it's like, oh, I had this conversation with your mom, let me check in with you, is this really the case? I mean, that might just be my imaginative mind.
No, I think
thinking
that you made me think about this. Okay, so this might be a shocker to everybody, but so I don't speak Tagalog.
Wait, what?
So
Really?
Wait, what is it?
I know, shocker. I don't really speak Tagalog or understand it completely. And you bring up this interesting thing. So when all the titas congregate in the kitchen and they hover over the food and make past judgment. I actually don't know what they're talking about, but I do know when they're talking smack about me. I can just feel it. I just know exactly what they're saying. But what happens when titas congregate? What do they talk about?
I think it really is like comparing of each other's kids, where they're
Or talk
at.
about or talk about someone who's not present.
Yeah.
Another tita who's not there, or another nephew or niece.
'Cause I don't
who's not
understand what
there.
they're saying. That's the thing. I don't understand what happens. So
I know what you mean,
guys
Greg,
might.
because my family forgets that I can understand Ilocano, so they'll talk shit like, "Oh, he got fat." Like they'll whisper to another tita in Ilocano. I'm like, I can understand you and I can hear you. So I'm like, what the fuck? So that word, the Ilocano word for fat, I'm traumatized by that.
What's the word for what is it?
Little mug.
What?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What did you just say?
Little mug.
Look, monk.
Something like that. It's hard to pronounce.
God, it sounds like a gang. Like, where are you from? Look, monk. No,
Yeah.
It's like that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think lut nung is soft and lut mug is fat or something like that. Dakkel is big, but dakkel it just means like big in size, not necessarily fat. So
Like you're just big. So like it's almost like they don't mean to. It's not a dig on you. It's just like, oh, you're like taller. Or
yeah,
you're, like,
usually when they
you
say
know, it's not-
when they say lut mug, then that means you're fat or fat.
But it means differently to them, though, right? They don't actually say it to hurt.
Oh, they say it to hurt because why else would you
Oh.
say it? He whisper he got fat. Like what is that about?
Oh, the whisper. That's a good one.
yeah.
They whisper it. That means attentions.
I mean, cousins have done that to me too. So
You guys have the in on what they say when they congregate. So, what kind of stuff have you heard them say? Like the worst stuff have you heard them say about you or a relative or a cousin or a sibling?
I can't say. It's like a family. It's too private.
I can get past the body shaming. That's just me. But I don't like the comparison of career,
cousins. Yeah.
life stature,
Yeah.
Between, cousins or their kids.
Yeah.
And like even like marriage, like asking like, oh, so and so is married. I wonder why she's not married yet. It's like,
Yeah.
well, why don't you ask her, and maybe
Okay,
she can tell you what the goal is.
Well, let's go into the relationship part of this because this have been asked of me too. It's like they see me, then they'll say, "How come you're not married yet?" And
Or is that a new guy?
I think
Is that a different guy again?
No, actually, I've mentioned this where I had like a screaming match with my aunt because I actually spoke back and said it's not legal in California, and we had this like screaming match back and forth. And also, when my aunt in the Philippines became ill, I flew to the Philippines the next day because I knew it wasn't gonna be good. So I walked into her hospital room, and the first thing she said to me was, "Oh, Balong." Balong means young man in Ilocano, and that's what she calls me. "Oh, Balong, my nurse, this Filipina, this pretty Ilocana girl, you should marry her." And I said to her, "You should just concentrate on getting better." And those were like the last words we said to each other because she passed away 2 weeks after that. It's like, why did that have to be the last words you said to me?
But wait a minute. So my thought about this, that you shared the story with us, is that it sounds like to me in this case, is just my observation, is that she wanted to make sure that you would be okay or taken care of.
But she knows I'm gay.
Yeah.
The whole family knows I'm gay. The whole extended family knows I'm gay.
But but I'm saying that like whether she knows or not knows, but it's really about she just wanted to make sure that you would be okay. Like that's feel like that's what her intention may have been.
Yes,
not to like shame
no.
you.
I give
or
her credit.
anything.
I'm gonna be a devil's advocate on here. If she really intended to do that, she should have gotten like a male nurse for McCoy.
Yes.
Right? So-
I would have married that male nurse. But I see
I know there. Let's be honest. There's a lot of hot Filipino male nurses.
Well,
if she meant well,
Wait a
that's
minute.
what she
Maybe
should have done.
maybe she just got the pronoun wrong. Maybe it was a male nurse.
No.
and she just used the wrong pronoun.
no, she
It
said
happens.
she said I have this Ilocana nurse who's pretty that you should marry.
There's a lot of pretty male nurses.
Greg, really. See, I get the intent, especially
Yeah.
she was ill. I get the intent of it, but it still doesn't make me feel good because you're denying my sexuality. I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
You're not accepting me for who I am, and you're trying to force your idea of who I should marry onto me. So,
But so you made me actually think about something interesting now.
Yeah.
Because it's about Titas and it's a different generation than
Yeah.
ours,
Yeah.
right? But they grew up in a society where they didn't have those choices, like to be who they were.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what it is. Like because they couldn't make a decision. They felt like they couldn't. I mean,
Yeah.
they could, but they just felt they couldn't because of the society at the time would judge them.
Yes.
Do you think that's what it is?
it could be, but the thing is it not up to us to try to educate them to bring them to a higher level of knowledge?
Yeah.
Or should we just leave them with that mentality that, this and that, you should marry a girl, blah, blah, blah? It's like, no, I shouldn't because I don't want to.
No, I agree. How about you, Dean? Any thoughts?
My experiences are, well, you guys labeled me as the sassy one. So, usually either I choose to
We
just...
did not label you as anything. You label yourself.
No. The listeners labeled him as sassy.
Are you? Well, you are kind of a sassy.
He's sassy.
Let's be honest.
Well,
Hey, sassy.
leave that in the review if that's true. Okay, there you go. But yeah, I mean,
Sass.
I think I've navigated through it just by either rolling our eyes, walking away, or
Walking
if I
away.
really want to say something, it's like I've kind of formulated a way where it's not a dig, but like I guess a correction of that. So hopefully we can like later on discuss how we can help everyone navigate through it if they become happen to come to a situation like that.
It's a course correction for our culture, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna course correct our culture or this practice
There you go,
of
academia.
saying. And so, okay, so let me just break it down. So we talked about body shaming was one way that Titas say the darnest things. We talked about relationships. That's of Titas saying the darnest things. And then what's another one?
The
Is it
goal,
comparison?
lifestyle.
Comparing
yeah.
their kids,
career, yeah.
lifestyle. But overall, would you say the intentions of the Titas are what?
I honestly don't know. I am really just crossing my fingers and praying to God, Beyonce, that they mean well.
Yeah, me
Did
too.
you say God Beyonce?
You haven't accepted her as your Lord and Savior? Wait.
Okay, that might be the wrong episode.
Okay. I thought we were all on the same page, but yeah.
And how about you, McCoy?
Regarding their intent, like why are they doing this, or why is this?
Yeah, do you think this is all nefarious, or is it like?
I think half of it they mean well. They're trying, like I think we've discussed, they're trying to shame you to correct what they think is wrong with you, but at the same time I think they just have nothing better to say.
Or McCoy,
or-
also, like what you mentioned earlier, you just caught yourself doing it. It's because it's been implanted in you.
It's been
That, like,
normalized.
that is the
Yeah.
first thing that you should say when you open your mouth. So that could be it as well. It could have been generational. I don't want to label it, but it's generational trauma that's been passed on from one, family member to another. Maybe that's it.
Yeah, I think you're onto something, D. It makes me think.
Oh no,
about
yeah, I know.
just the
You don't
trauma
have to. You don't have to.
about. Okay, sassy, sit down. But this again, we talk about like some kind of like trauma from our community that has been passed down, right, through generations. And I remember you guys were talking about like this idea of guilt or shame, right? Mm-hmm. I think like some people. What did they say? Like, if you can't love yourself, how the hell you could love anyone else?
Yeah.
Can I get an amen?
And Beyonce, amen. Was that Beyonce?
Drag Race.
Drag race. You said drag race, huh?
That was my tita coming out. Drag Race,
But do
huh?
you think that you maybe? But you think about this idea of like, if they are traumatized themselves, then they're just passing that trauma that they've had to
Yeah.
deal with onto us, and then we pass it to the next generation.
Exactly. And
The next generation.
as Filipinos, we don't like to unpack our trauma.
Oh yeah, right.
We do, but we do it in a
At
way.
home, in our own room,
Yeah.
not to anyone else. That's how we unpack our trauma.
Damn, that's deep, y'all.
No,
That's deep.
the trauma comes as us shaming other people, I guess.
Yeah.
That's how they release the trauma,
Yeah, I
right?
guess.
It's just to shame other people so they could feel better. Wow. Okay, that's some deep packages, deep suitcases to unpack. And on that note, whew, let's take a break. All right, we are back. So all that luggage that we unpacked, how do we move forward from this? Like, how do we handle those situations? Okay, so obviously we may not be seeing our titas for a while because of COVID, but when we do get back and we have that COVID pounds on us around our waist, we gotta be ready and prepared for this. Not for this Thanksgiving, but maybe for the following Thanksgiving, 2021. So what is your thoughts on how do we handle these situations?
Well, in the past, I just walk away. I just smile and walk away, or I'll say something like, you gained weight, so much weight. I'm like, I know, my mirror tells me every day, and I just walk away with that statement. But like with my mom, when I spoke up and I said,
Wait.
Yes,
You really said that to a tita?
I did say that.
You said, when I look in my mirror, it tells me every day.
Yeah.
And what was her reaction? What's her facial
I
reaction?
don't know because I walked away.
Wow.
Oh, you can't do that. You have to stick around and see their reaction. That's the satisfaction.
No, a couple of times I have said, why is that always the question? Because I'm tired of it. It's like, no.
You should have just got a glass of water, put it on her face, like you're nothing but a trying hard copycat, and just walk away.
Greg's not gonna get that reference.
I know you won't. Shit.
I don't get it.
I'll send you the video later.
Hi.
Yeah, so I don't have a formula as to how to handle this because, you in a way I don't want to talk back because that's regarded as being disrespectful,
Rude,
yeah,
disrespectful, yeah. And you're inside her house,
yeah.
So she might kick you out.
Okay. All right. How would you handle these situations?
I've answered, I think in the past, like rudely, which I don't regret doing it. The only regret that I have attached to it is that my intentions were not good. It was like to fire back. So now if given a chance, which I really look forward to, by the way, is to correct them.
Like how? Like you would just be like, I am. Like, how do you correct them? Like when they say, let's say, what comment?
Ask them what their intentions were. It's like, oh, what did you mean by that question? What did you want the answer to be with that question?
Yeah.
How did you want to make me feel with that question? So really, it's like bombard them with like heavy topics so they can just really check like,
Wow.
hey, what is your goal by asking me that?
Yeah.
Do you want me to feel bad?
Yeah.
Because I do feel bad now. So do you want me to go home? Can you pack me some palabok then? Because I need baon for the next day. I'm not gonna leave empty-handed.
I want palabok all over my face right now.
Greg, oh my god, that sounds so nasty.
Okay. No, I actually went to Pancit Planet this morning.
Greg, that place is so good. Come on, when are we going back? It's in West Covina.
In West Covina,
Oh my
California, there's a place called
Yes.
strip called Pancit Planet, and it's like all the pancit that you want. And I just put my face in there when
It's
I'm
really
really
good,
sad.
B. We
Wait,
should
is it
go.
like buffet tour?
No,
style,
you
or-
order. It's like
No,
a
no.
place.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
But it's all the pancit you want, though. All the different types of pancit. Like pancit, pancit palabok, pancit canton, pancit in your ears, pancit in your nose, pancit in your mouth. It's like
Overload.
orgy of pancit.
Overload.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I haven't actually, think about this question. I haven't come across a tita in a while. Or maybe I just tune them out,
Yeah.
right? Which is not a good thing to do, just tune them because
Yeah.
you just let it go on anyways. But I have been practicing on one tita, my mom. My mom's a tita of somebody. And I asked her this question. I was like, Mom, like, why do titas do this stuff? Because she had a lot of harsh titas growing up, too, that said that she was too dark. And then when she became a doctor and was in newspapers, they all loved her, right? But she told me growing up, they would say like really cruel things to her because of her skin color, because of her nose, right? That she wouldn't basically amount to anything. And then when she became a doctor, the whole story changed, right? It didn't conform to their identity of someone who is dark, who doesn't have like a bridge on their nose. And so I asked her this. She said, "I don't know. Like, I don't know why they do that with our culture." I was like, in my head, I was like, Mom, you do this. You just don't know it. She says, I don't do it. I was like, you should have said every time I eat, like, oh, you're eating too much. And then, oh, you're not eating enough. And so when she tells me to keep eating, for example, I'm like, you eat the whole lechon. You tell me how it feels. Like, why do you keep trying to make me eat food that I don't want to eat?
Wait, I just want
Or
to describe
one time
to everyone how Greg is acting it out like he's shoving a spoon in someone's mouth while he said those words.
Literally.
I promise, McCoy, right? He was like holding someone's jaw and like shoving a spoon. Like,
I got
don't talk to my
Pancit
mom
Planet
like
all
that,
up in my
so
mouth
I
right
don't
now.
know.
Happy Thanksgiving. No, and then she would even like body shame me too. My own mom would body shame me. And I have to tell her, like, listen, mom, this is my body. It's not your body anymore. You don't own this body. I own this body. And what I do with it is what I do with it. So don't body shame me. I should have told her that. And then it curved her thought. Or even, I was even thinking about this earlier today, is like, you know, like, because, you know, we're trying to do queries, or we're doing queries right now with questions. I asked her, like, you know, what question would you have, mom? And she's like, why is my son gay? I was like, really? Like, but this is something a tita would say, right?
That's true.
But backhandedly, right? Yeah. And I said to her, like, mom, the answer to your question is like,
Penis.
this is how God made me, though. Like, it's not how, like, God made me this way. And I said to her, like, okay, so I have 2 older brothers. One's a manong, that's who I call my middle brother, and the kuya is my oldest brother. And I said to her, I was like, okay, so you have 3 sons. 2 of them are breeders. One's breeding. One doesn't really care to breed. And then you have me. Who's sticking around to help you out? I am. If I was straight, mom, I would be gone. And she was like, oh. And she was all quiet. I was like, I said, you have to be thankful that what you have, like, you know? And I was like, you are a tita, mom. You are the tita that makes those backhanded comments, and you don't even realize it. So, all that being said, let's play a game. All 3 of us. You guys ready for this game?
Oh, okay,
Sure.
okay. What is this game?
Okay. All right. So this game we're gonna play is it's a role-playing game.
Wait, I thought McCoy's not doing that till next week.
Yeah, he's gonna be a dominatrix.
Oh, okay. Oh,
I'll send you guys the video.
Okay.
Please
No,
don't.
McCoy, don't.
It's not gonna involve me. It's
No,
just gonna be
McCoy,
the other
save
guy
it.
with the leash and all that.
I come on.
Save it
no.
for our Patreon. I'm still putting that together.
OnlyFans.
This is our OnlyFans page. All right, so back to the titas. All right, so let's play this game. Let's do a role-playing game. I'll create some scenarios for you guys, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
All right, and then we'll start with McCoy because you are the tita of the group. Just own it, okay? Put down the popcorn and the peanuts, okay? Just own it. All right. So McCoy, this is one's for you, all right? Are you ready for this?
Okay.
So McCoy, so it's Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
You are in the dining room with all the Filipino food.
Yes.
You're right next to the big wooden fork and spoon, and the Last Supper's right
Ooh,
behind
yes,
you.
yes. The mahogany.
Oh yeah, get all the saints up in there. Yeah, the mahogany wood from Bohol. Like that's kind of like
From Bohol. Okay.
and so you are standing having your 5th piece of the lechon on the table. Because that skin's hella good.
Yes.
You know that.
It's still crispy.
And so it's crispy. Yeah, you got to get in on that stuff, right? Sorry, vegans. Don't alarm me. Okay, so you're eating your crispy like lechon skin. Your lips are all greasy and shiny. And then Tita Girly walks up. Ooh, and she has a pearl necklace, you know, that Tita, with the fake Chanel bag, you know, that Tita. Come on, we all have one of those. All right, and then Tita Girly says,
oh, that's your 5th piece now, huh? How's your mom?
Tita Girly, I'm on keto, and my mom is okay. Can you please pass that Mang Tomas sauce? Thanks.
okay, all right, I respect that.
So that's your course of action. Really
Yes,
acknowledge
of
it.
course.
Okay.
Pass the sauce. That's very Thanksgiving too. I love it.
Well, yeah, you
instead
can
of,
enjoy a piece
pass
of
the cranberry
lechon.
sauce.
Yeah.
We have Mang
You
Tomas.
need the lechon. Yeah. All right, Dee, are you ready for yours?
Okay.
All right, Dee, this is your scenario. What would you do? Oh my God, it's like that TV show. What would you do? What's his name?
I don't know. I forgot his name. But yeah.
Don Cornelius? Just kidding. That's not Don Cornelius.
That's Soul Train. Is that Soul Train?
No, I love Soul Train.
If that's the case, then I'm going to shimmy my ass through the hallway.
Well, this is kind of like Soul Train because it's like a line of Filipino and
judging
like
you.
Judging you. Oh my God, those are the worst. All right, so we've all had this experience, right? So you come late, you come on Filipino time, you're walking with your husband, the garage is open, the titas are playing mahjong. You could hear the tiles clatter. And you're walking right down the center of Tita aisle. And Tita Baby is the first one to greet you. She kisses you on the cheek, right? And Tita Baby says,
Oh, Dee, your cousin Rachel is here. Did you see her na? She got her RN license. When are you gonna finish school?
Oh my God, that stings. I felt it. But I think I would be like, oh, hi, Tita Baby. How are you doing? Oh, that's good. Is she married yet?
Oh my God.
And then just walk away.
wow, you would throw her under the bus? You could throw her under the bus too.
Well, of course, I'm going to go to Rachel. Hey, Rachel, your mom's being a bitch. I just had to do it correct.
And your cousin would totally understand. Your mom would
yes. Because
understand.
the thing is, like, if my mom was here, my mom probably would have done the same thing. It's just that I have a good understanding with my cousins that we check in with each other and just be like, hey, your mom said this earlier when I walked in the door. So that's my go-to is like, so, I mean, yeah. But in reality, I would want to check them. It's just like, oh, that's good. That's great for her. But
that is sass, though. That is like sass. I don't think I have that.
I don't have that in me.
That is good.
Yeah.
You gotta hit him where it hurts, like shank.
Oh my God! Happy Thanksgiving. Hit him where it hurts, Tita. Okay, wait. I got it. Okay, this scared me because D, yours was so good. I don't think I have that sass. I don't. Oh my God.
You don't have to have the sass.
Right, guys.
It's
You
a
don't have
different
to have
situation.
sass. It really is you. How
I don't have that. Oh my God, this is giving me this triggering. We gotta put a trigger warning on this one.
Okay, pause.
I think I'm sweating, guys. I think I'm sweating.
Okay, pause.
All right. I'm ready.
All right, Greg's turn. So, Greg, I'm gonna paint a picture. You're crunching on your turon right now with obviously langka inside. When Tita Pinky approaches you and asks,
Hoy, Gregory, how come you're not married yet? Don't you want kids? I think your mom is ready for more apo. She wants more grandchildren, huh?
it's so true. It's so
Gregory, did you hear me, Gregory?
Yes, Tita. This to yun ba lechon? I mean, my turon. Oh, that's turon is so good, Tita. I you guys don't see this, but I'm fanning myself with my own like hands because I'm like sweating. So this is so triggering for me. Tita, so good to see you. Tita.
Are you crying?
Come on, Greg. This is your chance. This is your chance to answer how if the scenario was in your control.
Tita, you're so funny. Tita. What did you say, Tita? Say it
When
again
are you
for
gonna
me,
get
Tita.
married, Gregory, and have kids for your mom?
Oh my God, that emphasis on mom.
Well, my mom already has like one grandson and she's really happy. I'm gonna have kids, but without a girl.
No, but Gregory, you're so good looking. It's such a waste, no?
Oh my God. I'm like tearing up. All right, Tita. You know what? I am not a waste. I'm not a waste. Oh my god, I think I'm gonna cry. I'm crying. I'm like literally crying. Okay, I'm sweating and I'm crying. All right, I can't do this. I don't know what to say.
Anak,
like
did
that's
I
a hard
upset
one.
you? I'm sorry, anak.
I just wanted to.
I meant well.
Because I was concerned. Because I was concerned.
See, by this time, I would probably eat like 10 like Theron pieces in my mouth right now.
Oh,
Honestly, like this is so interesting because I don't know what what the response would be.
it's okay. It's okay not to know.
Yeah, I mean, we're playing around with these scripts,
Yeah.
but we can't really provide people with like the exact things to say. But I had a conversation with some people just this past week, and how to deal with their kids when they're asked by with these tough questions about LGBT, Black Lives Matter, and I told them like it's okay to be honest.
Yeah.
Just say like I don't know what to say. I'm overwhelmed by the situation. I can get back to you later. And
Yeah.
the same thing for you, Greg. But I think we can all do is just be honest with our response. Obviously, I was joking earlier. The ideal thing that I would have probably said was to correct them,
Yeah.
because my goal is not to perpetuate this thing and then have my younger cousins go through that later on, my nephews and nieces, or even like with you, McCoy, like break that cycle within myself
Yeah.
of not wanting to repeat that unintentionally to some, to my nephews and
Yeah.
nieces. So,
Yeah.
I think we just owe it to ourselves to just to be honest and pass that question on to them. What was your intention? Why did you ask me that?
I could see that. I think that my struggle is because culturally, like, you don't want to disrespect
Yeah.
them. Like we don't want to say anything to offend an elder because we have in our culturally we have so much great high standards and respect for our elders, right? And I think that's the trouble part. But I think you're onto something, Dia, about just being honest or ask them a question about like. I was just thinking about so many stuff like Titas have said to me that have given me trauma. Like I remember when I was a kid, some Titas, they're not blood related Titas. Those Titas that are your Tita, but they're not blood related. But they're in your province. Yeah.
Aren't we all?
Totally.
Yeah.
And I remember some of them be like, oh, are you adopted? This is when I was a kid.
They said that to you?
Yes, and I didn't look exactly like, I guess, I don't know. I think I look like my dad. And my
No, you look like your siblings.
That's what I think, but they would literally ask, "Oh, you adopted?" I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" And this is when I was like, I think 9.
That's hurtful.
I know I was playing with my Care Bears and everything, my Cabbage Patch, love Cabbage Patch. Don't judge me, but no, seriously. And then it just traumatized me, and I would be like, and then ask my Monong, am I adopted? He's like, yes.
He would
And
say
he-
that.
And
I
he
can
just
see
walks
that.
away. He just walks
My
away.
brother, yeah, he basically did that. Dude. He said yes, and he walked away, and I was like, I was just left there, 9 years old, holding my Cabbage Patch.
I can see that happening.
I think we really have to also consider that it is passed on to us also that we're not really used to talking about our feelings. And that's why I want to bring that up even
Yeah.
more. That when we pass it
Oh my
on to them,
gosh.
it's like, hey, this is how you made me feel. And it's going to be a shocker for them, but that doesn't mean that that's a bad thing.
Ooh.
It really like, hey, you made me feel like shit when you said that. And then just like picture their face crumble like on the spot.
Feelings. Oh my gosh, D, you're totally right about this. As a culture, we don't talk about feelings at all.
Like within the immediate family, what more when it's extended? Like that's even looked at as shameful. Like, why are you talking to other
my
people about your
gosh.
feelings? But I think that's how one way we can combat it is like put it out there. Like, hey, you made me feel like this. Now, it's not an intention for you to feel bad making me feel like this, but hopefully they'll recognize, oh shit, I said something really, really off and that didn't need to be said.
I'm just thinking about this. It's like, it's also like how you receive the information, right, from your tita. Like, it's hard not to get like butthurt or a little bit offended from these comments, right?
Yeah.
So like, okay, so there's one, how do we receive it? What's your thoughts on this? Like, how do we receive it in such a way where we're still standing up and not eating 10 pounds of Taron? Not that I have before, but like, just say.
Like I said, I just smile and walk away, but internally I'm just like, fuck you. You hurt my feelings, but there's nothing I can do because I don't want to disrespect you. So I still haven't found the balance of like speaking up because I'm still trying to process that. But I mean, I have in the past. Don't get me wrong, I have. But I don't know. I don't know.
And then you also, it just make me think about this too, is that because of these comments that titas say, it's like we don't really have a really fulfilling relationship with our titas, do we?
No.
Yeah, it's very surface. And I think for some of us, I mean, maybe I can only speak for myself. I've avoided, joining family gatherings just because of that. It's like, why do I want to put myself through that? And, non-enjoyment when I can just set up a dinner or a lunch with my cousins separately and be with the people that I actually want to see. I think that's one thing that we also have to bring up. Again, not to shame them, but make them realize, hey, this is what you're doing. People are not looking forward to being, a part of the family because of this feeling that they get in just by pulling up in the driveway and having this anxiety level spike up.
Okay, Dee, you reminded me of something because when I was staying at my dad's house, and my aunt would come over, and I'd come home and like, oh, hi, and I'll just walk to my room and stay in my room. I have to be so bad, but I hold it in because I don't want to have any kind of interaction if I don't have to.
Wait, how old were you?
This is like
Last week?
4 years ago.
Last week?
It was like 4 years ago, and I was like, no. I'm not leaving this room because, and then when I hear them going out because they'll go to like a buffet or something, I'm like, oh, finally, I can pee.
Oh, that breaks my heart.
Yeah.
That's so like sad.
That's the thing, is that it's just more than the three of us, I bet, that can relate to it.
Yeah.
Everyone else can relate to it, but we just really choose not to bring it up.
Yeah.
And I think it's time we actually, break that. So everyone is listening, go bust in your mom's room, and then just kidding. And no, I think, if you are given an opportunity again to do that, I know it's hard to remember, but I hope that sticks in your head, like, hey, I want to correct them because I don't want them to do that to everyone else.
Yeah, you just made me think about this. One actual action that we could take is even just correcting our own parents when they do that to our cousins or relatives. Like when they do it, so I tell my mom, like, Mom, don't say that.
Yeah.
Like, that's rude. Like, you're not supposed to ask, our cousin about. Oh my gosh. Can I just say this one story about Thanksgiving that I had? I just remember my mom is like, she's her intentions are, she's totally a tita. Like my godbrother, it was Thanksgiving last year. He just got a divorce.
Oh.
We're all in the kitchen. It's kind of open kitchen, family room, open concept kind of house. The news were just breaking that he got a divorce. Mm-hmm. And my mono came in, just arrived late. And my mom from one side of the kitchen screamed at him on the other side. It says, "Did you hear about your cousin? Did you hear about your cousin? He got a divorce." And she just screamed it out loud.
Oh my God.
I was like, Mom, seriously? Like, I mean, my cousin's like, he's great and he loves my mom and he totally gets it. But I was like, Mom, like, you screamed that he got a divorce and you screamed it from one side of the house to the other side of the house. Like, have some like respect.
You might as well grab the karaoke mic and just like, hey, did you hear so and so is divorced? And then continue singing My Way.
My mom would actually do that and think that it's. Yeah, I mean, I get, because she suffered trauma from her relationship, so it's like, this is nothing, a divorce, whatever. At least you're still alive. But it came out so wrong.
Yeah, but
and I had to correct her.
My brothers and sisters and I, we correct her mom, and she's better. She doesn't really say anything rude, and she, if she has nothing nice to say, she'll just smile and not say anything. Which is better than saying something rude or comes off as rude.
Yeah, I think we could take action indirectly with our own parents.
Yeah.
And it's not just titas. Some titos say the darnest things too. Don't get twisted.
Don't
Let me tell you.
I think that's a completely separate episode because
they handle it so like differently, and I just want to punch them sometimes. Now I was gonna say, good thing I don't have a lot of titos in my family because I have a lot of titas instead.
All right, well, with all that said, I think it's a good time to bring up the Filipino word of the day.
So the Filipino word of the day is paggalang.
Pagalang.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good.
Oh, did I get it?
wow.
Yeah.
Hey,
It means-
pagalang.
It means respect or reverence or polite behavior. But the main definition of it is respect.
Okay. Use it in a sentence.
We need to treat each other with paggalang sa isa't isa or mutual respect.
Wait, what? You just added
I did.
the words on top of the Filipino word of the day.
Well, I
They
know
just-
the second part is
Okay,
like
now
what
I'm
it means.
sweating again. I'm sweating. Oh my god! I feel like I'm running into a tita again.
Sorry, the pinkies around.
Ay, kamote.
Gregory.
Gregorio. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah, so paggalang sa isa't isa means mutual respect.
Pagaling ay asa.
Greg, stop. Just leave it at paggalang. You did so well with that.
Okay, I'm not gonna rip pagalang. All right. I think that sounds good, and I think that's a good point to wrap up this episode. That is our show. If you have a comment or a question for us, reach out to us, and you can reach us at
On social media, we're on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at GamChat Podcast. And also, you can leave a message on Anchor.
Or you can email us your questions and comments to gamchatpodcast@gmail.com. And also, don't forget to rate us on Apple Podcasts. Leave us 5 stars. Let us know how we're doing. If we can improve in any other way, I highly doubt it, but leave that 5 stars.
I believe.
I believe. On that note, I think that's a good time to say happy Thanksgiving. May you guys have a safe and tita-free happy Thanksgiving. Catch you on the next one.